I didn't always love Donkey Kong. When I was a kid, I thought gorillas, monkeys, and the rest were all creepy.
Ugly, gorillas, ugly, go away.
Why? I really don't know. But that's what being a kid is all about, you know?
You kids don't know what you want. That's why you're still kids, 'cause you're stupid.
I still thought Donkey Kong Country was pretty freaking rad though, so I guess I wasn't a total lost cause. Since my brain's developed, I've come to love Donkey Kong. I love the arcade trilogy, I love the original Country trilogy, I love the rhythm games, the modern games, and yes, even DK64.
Oh yeah!
So when I was thinking of a new game challenge to take on, I thought, why not try to complete a deathless loop of the original Donkey Kong? And well, I guess that brain development didn't eradicate all the stupid after all. You might be wondering what I mean by loop. A lot of old arcade games had no official ending, and after a point the levels would just loop over and over. So a game might have 10 levels, and if you completed them all, the game just would loop back around to level 1 again. Donkey Kong is a little bit different though. There are 4 levels, but after you complete the 4th level, the game just loops the hardest level over and over until you die or reach a kill screen. The first Donkey Kong was released in 1981 and developed by Nintendo R&D 1 with help from Ikegami Tsushinki. Donkey Kong is particularly notable as the start of the rise for designer and planner Shigeru Miyamoto. Although the game started life conceptually as a Popeye game and was to include scrolling, licensing and hardware limitations along with the normal course of development resulted in the vertical platformer we've got today. Pac-Man.
This is a wrench!
Miyamoto was interested in creating a vertical maze game, which I think is reflected well, especially in the elevator stage of Donkey Kong. Like the ghosts in Pac-Man, fireballs pursue Jumpman as well. Crazy Climber.
You so crazy!
A vertical climbing game in which you dodge objects being thrown down at you. And a big monkey. He's not exactly subtle. Okay, I know. It's old. Donkey Kong's old, and it's absolutely tough as nails, but it has everything a good game needs. The vertical platforming was innovative at the time. It was intuitive, the controls are precise and fun, it has entertaining sound effects. I mean, who wouldn't love this sample? Oh yeah, that low quality hiss, gimme that. But honestly, those are just the qualities that make Donkey Kong good. Donkey Kong is great because of the deep level of consideration given to its overall design. Miyamoto and co. took a simple idea and got everything they possibly could out of it. Donkey Kong is all about spacing, timing, anticipation, and in every moment of gameplay you're gonna be reminded of this. That's because Donkey Kong is super freaking hard. However, if you take your time and think about what the game is asking of you, it begins to make sense and Donkey Kong becomes absolutely captivating when everything finally clicks. Alright, the goal is just to get to the top. Along the way, DK rolls barrels at you. What you discover as you play, though, is that the goal isn't to just hop over the barrels as they come towards you. Jumping over the barrels is part of the challenge, of course, but it's not the challenge. The real challenge is to watch and manage the stream of barrels coming so that when you do jump, you won't land on another barrel. This is easier said than done. If it's possible for a barrel to go down a ladder to intercept your jump, there's a good chance it will. If it's possible for a barrel to go down a ladder to hit you because you've started moving in that direction, it will. And if you're on a ladder as a barrel passes overhead, consider yourself extremely lucky if it didn't come down to hit you. On top of having to track the barrels and plan your movements, Donkey Kong will occasionally throw down wild barrels, which get all erratic and wacky. And finally, little fireballs will spawn at the bottom and then pursue you. Phew! But there's more! You can control the path of the barrels at times by making sudden movements as they pass over ladders. The game will want to intercept you based on your movement, even if you aren't nearby, and send whatever barrel it can down the ladder. This is called barrel control, and it requires precision to pull off, but it's very satisfying when you do. And that's really the story when it comes to Donkey Kong. Precise, but satisfying. The game has a great sense of control and never leaves you thinking that you've died because of the controls or despite making the correct choices. That isn't to say that you can't get scammed, because let's face it, the game can be downright cruel at times, but in my many attempts to complete a loop of the game without dying, I never felt like my failures were anything more than my own fault. Okay, next up is the Rivets board. This is actually the final board, but it repeats and, well, it's easier to just show you. Here we go. Donkey Kong introduces new boards and increased difficulty over each of its levels. Anyway, the goal on Rivets is to collect all of the rivets and not get fragged by the fireballs. The best way to go about it is to try to trap as many fireballs on one side of the board as you can. The fireballs always spawn on the opposite side of the board from Jumpman, so if you remove the rivets on the left side first, keeping in mind that you need this row intact for the hammer, then you can use that hammer to hopefully squash some of the fireballs who can then spawn on the other side of the board, more or less stuck. This is good for keeping yourself safe, but also for scoring points. I don't really plan to dive into all the many different points tricks out there, but this one is kind of interesting. If you position Jumpman about here and do a straight jump up and press right or left while he's in the air, you'll strangely be given 100 points. So if you get enough of the fireballs stuck on the left side of the board, you can safely hang out here and just collect a whole bunch of points. This ending has always seemed odd to me. Donkey Kong throws barrels at Jumpman, sure, but he doesn't exactly try to murder him. I can't help but feel a little bad for DK here. And the way these platforms fall is just odd. Why would this platform hold fast when the other one fell? And did it just pass through Jumpman? I don't know, man. This is all highly questionable. Things get a little bit harder in level 2, but not considerably. It starts out with the barrel board again, but then moves us to a new board, the elevators. You may not know it, but you're looking at the last boss of Donkey Kong. It's these assholes. For the moment, they're not going to be a major threat, but these springs become an absolute menace by level 4. So the idea here is you cross over to these platforms, follow them up, and then dodge the springs and climb the ladder. But there's no need to bother with all these platforms. Instead, you can just make this jump, which looks a lot harder than it actually is. The trick is to make sure that you're jumping before the two platforms are completely level. It's a pretty forgiving jump actually, and if you try it a few times, you'll have it down no problem. At this point, the springs also look harder than they actually are. If you position Jumpman before the end of the third V here, you'll always be safe. And this goes for every level. Then all you need to do is wait for a spring to bounce over Jumpman and make a run for the ladder. I was extra cautious in my run and waited for another spring before going for the ladder, but you don't actually need to. If you jump once while running across the bottom girder, it's going to space you out perfectly to jump over this barrel here. If all you want to do is survive the conveyors, this is the easiest route. Head up here, run across, climb to the top, done. The second springs level is a little tricky. I've seen videos of people just running straight up the ladder, but for some reason that's very hit or miss for me. So what I recommend you do is stand at the third V like before, run across so that Jumpman is half on and half off the yellow platform here. Keep your eyes focused here and wait for a spring that lands on the yellow platform. And when it does, let it pass over you, run across, head on up, and you're good. You ever ask yourself, is Pauline screaming for help because she wants Jumpman to rescue her, or because Jumpman is coming? In level 4, you don't have to jump before jumping over the first barrel. You can just run right at it and jump over it. Ooh, look at that barrel control. Look at that. It feels so good. What? Another barrel board? I guess that's just one of the extra challenges. You have to do 2 barrel boards on the hardest level. Okay, stay calm. Don't panic. Okay, the third pass on the springs. This is where it goes from being kind of tricky to ridiculous. Now, I understand there are a lot of Donkey Kong players who have clocked hundreds of hours on the machine, and this is like no problem for them and they could basically do it in their sleep. But I gotta tell you, as a newcomer to Donkey Kong, this is ridiculous. So basically, here's how it goes. You get positioned at the third V like before, wait for a spring to bounce to the left of this yellow platform. Then you run across and position yourself half on and half off the yellow platform like before. And now here's the tricky part. You're going to wait for a spring to land on the middle of the yellow platform, and then you're going to watch and see if a spring lands to the left of the yellow platform next. However, you need to move to the ladder to get ready to climb up or be climbing up when that second spring comes out. And if it doesn't land to the left of the yellow platform, you need to get down and get back to safety before it runs into you. In this case, I just got super lucky. It just happened to line up the way it's supposed to, and I didn't have to try to panic and run to safety. Man, Donkey Kong's not happy about this. Look at that frown. He's beating his chest to try to keep Jumpman away, and when he fails, he scoops up Pauline and books it out of there. Pauline's calling for help, but I feel like she's better off with DK. And unlike Jumpman, DK is not out to kill anyone. Sure, he rolls barrels down, but that's just because he wants to keep Jumpman away. Okay, think about it. If DK really wanted to kill Jumpman, why wouldn't he just wait for him to arrive at the top and then yank him apart like a cheap action figure? Look at him, he's massive. He's way bigger than Jumpman. He could practically crush him in his palm. No. Donkey Kong ain't about that murder stuff. He's just trying to get Pauline away from an obviously dangerous person. Fireballs don't even hurt Donkey Kong, even they know what's up. Stop it. Stop it. We're at the end. Stop it. Could you just not, please? Thank you.
Where's dinner?
Well, I thought you'd be home a couple of hours ago, and I put everything away. So
what is this? Pizza?
You had just called me. I would have known what.
Dinner ready is pizza.
Honey, please don't be so loud. Please don't. Let go of me!
Get in the kitchen!
No! That hurts.
Do you want to see what hurts? That's what hurts!
You might have watched this and thought to yourself, you know, that really doesn't look that hard. Well, that's exactly what I thought, but trust me, it's hard. It's harder than it looks. In fact, Donkey Kong could probably be summed up as hard to pick up, hard to master. The game is just hard. I don't know, it looks easier than it is. Everything looks way easier than it is in Donkey Kong. That's just part of what makes it so cool. And if you take the time and you learn some of the tricks and you get through, you know, levels 1 to 4 kind of in the way that I have, then when you see other people playing Donkey Kong, you'll just be blown away at the level of skill and the level of focus that they're able to maintain for such a long time. I left some links in the description of things you can check out, like the current world record holders for the MAME and arcade machine, as well as a bonus gorilla video. So check it out and give DK a play because it's really something special. Hey, thank you for watching my video. As always, I appreciate it very much. Cheers.